Greetings. Well, the Arcturian Council. Well, please to connect with you. Hello.
Hello. How are you doing?
Yes, we are doing wonderfully well, and how about yourself?
Pretty good.
Ooh.
Is there anything that you would like to talk about?
Well, we would like to point out that the frequency of your planet continues to spike, and that's very good news for all of you who are working on yourselves and grounding, as you're getting quite a boost coming from below, and you can really feel that if you open yourself up to Mother Earth and to feeling the vibration that she is giving off right now. It's very supportive, and it's also very clearing, so you're going to find that you're doing a lot of clearing of old stuff at this time, making room for the new energies coming in that will be more about building you up and about giving you all the activations and upgrades you need to position yourselves for an even better ride as you continue on to the fifth dimension.
I've asked you this before, but will there be like special projects for people to work on, like cleaning up the earth and improving living conditions for like all humans on the planet?
Yes, but it won't be hard work. It will be more about coming together and organizing your energies. So you'll be much more of like a board that is focused on manifestation than you are on those types of projects that involve a lot of time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears, and so on.
What do extraterrestrials think about the Olympics, and do they watch it?
Yes, they do. Not all of them, of course, but the ones that are interested in how humans can focus and push themselves to accomplish such great things with their bodies and with the other tools that are used in the Olympics, because it is a time when a lot of the consciousness of humanity is focused on one area as well. They see it as a very powerful time where a lot of expansion can occur, a lot of people can raise their level of consciousness, and there are some moments, typically in every Olympic game, of people going beyond what the sport is required of them. There's acts of kindness and compassion with these athletes because of their sense of camaraderie for all being at the top of their sport and having trained so hard, being able to relate to one another. It's really a beautiful experience and has less to do with the different countries competing against each other than people might think.
Would extraterrestrials ever show their ships at the something like a big event like that?
Yes, that's very intuitive of you, because that's the type of thing you're going to start seeing more and more of as you get closer to full open contact.
That's very cool. Um, so sometimes I hear the terms like lightworker and starseed. Could you please explain those?
Well, we would say light worker would be anyone who's consciously putting forth an effort to bring more light to the human collective in whatever way that they do, whatever capacity they are inspired to perform that task in. So it would be, for some, doing healing work, for others channeling, for some it's just meditating on world peace or something like that. But people who have dedicated themselves to the light, and starseeds are beings who have an origin that is outside of the solar system.
Can you describe ascension, and why should we be excited about it?
Ascension is a raising of the level of your consciousness to the point where you know yourselves as a collective, and you know that you are a source energy being and that everyone else is a source energy being, and your words, thoughts, and actions reflect that. So you begin to see others as you, not just a reflection of you, not just someone that is either triggering you or mirroring something to you, but is you in another body. And so when you begin to treat others in that way, because you're seeing others in that way, then you're releasing so much of the illusion that keeps you in a third and fourth dimensional type of experience, because the illusion of separation is what allows you to do harm to one another, to cheat and lie and steal and exploit because of greed, lust for power, desire to dominate. All of those things sort of have been played out enough. You've done enough of that. Now you're ready to move into a time when people are kinder to each other and respect each other and would never want someone else to suffer for their gain and so on. And so that's the type of reality you'll be living in when enough people have done the work on themselves to raise the collective consciousness. You want to see the collective consciousness as like a type of bath water. And you're sitting in the bath and you've been in that bath for a long time, and now the water is just lukewarm. It's room temp. You're not really excited about being in it anymore. But then you turn on the tap and there's some nice fresh hot water coming in, and it raises not only the level of the water in the tub but the warmth. So now you're experiencing a higher level of temperature, and it's the same that's going on there on Earth with the human collective consciousness. The more people who are interested in raising their consciousness, they're like turning on that hot tap water for themselves and adding to the overall level of vibration within the human collective consciousness, so that you then start to see it in the outside world. You see less fighting, less bombs and guns and chaos, and you see more of a coming together of people to do the things you were talking about earlier, like cleaning up the atmosphere, the ocean, the soil, and so on. So the type of experience you're going to have as a fifth dimensional being, we really didn't touch on that very much, but it will be like a magical type of life where things will manifest instantaneously. You'll be able to create whatever version of your body you want to inhabit in that moment. There'll be no need for death. If someone did injure themselves, they would instantly heal, that sort of thing.
Will there always be certain people that are committing acts of violence and stuff like that, or will there be some sort of splitting between something like that?
Once you're in the fifth dimension, the ones who are on the darker end of the spectrum, they won't be doing harm to anyone else, but they will still be more interested in the self than in the communal or community type of experience. And so those people will simply play out all those scenarios for themselves, and they won't be doing any harm to anyone else, because you won't be playing in a zero-sum game, which means that there's only so many slices of that pie to go around. And if your slice is bigger, then everyone else gets less. So it won't be like that and in the fifth dimension, because you'll be accessing infinite energies. So those who want to have as much gold bars and mansions and things of that nature, they will be able to accumulate as much of it as they want without harming anyone else or taking away from what anyone else has. And eventually, of course, they will tire of that and they will seek out something more for themselves. And when that occurs, that's when you as a collective will be ready to shift to the sixth dimension. And it will also naturally coincide with everyone who is more on the light side of the spectrum having gotten everything that they needed out of the fifth dimensional experience, and everything that they will have been able to do will have been exhausted at that time, and you will need an even more expansive experience of self in order to continue the journey back to source.
So I've had Daniel's videos playing on a website called Twitch, and sometimes people aren't very nice about the comments that they say, and I think it's mostly because they don't understand it or they think it's weird. And so I was concerned about using terms like, that they're unfamiliar with, like lightworker and starseed and stuff like that. And I think like the general public might sort of think it might be kind of weird, is what I'm trying to say. Is do you think in order to reach more people, um, do you think these terms are helpful or harmful for the
No, it's
overall
fine.
discussion?
They're planting the seeds, so to speak, for those people who will later on see them again and again and again and eventually get curious about them. So it's all right. Everyone is where they are in the moment, and all you can do is continue to shine your light and share what resonates with you, but don't worry that they're not ready for it at that time. It's all right. And if they are trying to make fun of it or tear it down, they're not really hurting anyone but themselves.
Sounds good. Um, for faster than light travel, could you explain like the very basics of it and I guess how ships are powered by it?
Well, it's more about just going directly to the place you want to go than really a traveling type of experience where now when you get in your car and you go from point A to point B, you realize that you're actually moving through the space that it takes to get to point B. But with that type of travel, it's more of a teleportation type of experience where you just change the vibration of yourself and your ship so that it matches the vibration of where you want to go. And so there's no real need for a fuel in order for that to occur. It's all about consciousness.
As far as our modern conception of like astrophysics and like how the universe began, let's say up to like 5 or 10 minutes or so, relatively speaking, how accurate do you think our scientific models of that are?
Not very.
Does it have, is like consciousness or spirituality kind of the missing puzzle piece to that?
Yes.
Or,
Yes, if
okay.
you only look at the physical, then you're only getting half of the story.
Will ETs assist us in understanding that? Will they
Yes,
speak with our scientists?
they will.
Okay,
Yes.
that sounds very cool.
Mm.
Is there anything else that you would like to say in closing?
We are very proud of the work that you are doing on yourself and the way that you are hoping to spread consciousness around. And we want you to know that you're getting a lot of assistance from your galactic team in that, and that it's going very well for you. On the non physical side of things and the higher dimensional side, that you will continue to receive support and that the level of your consciousness is higher every time that we connect with you, and we're very excited to see that, and it's a very good representation of the rest of humanity, as it sometimes may look to you like they're not doing so well, but remember, you're adding that hot water to the bath yourself and continuing to raise the overall level of consciousness.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Yes, and for us as well. We are the Arcturian Council and we have enjoyed connecting with you.